John, what were you like in high school?
Honestly, pretty quiet.
Mm.
I kind of just like I had my group of friends and didn't do any homework. I was late most days. My mom taught at my high school, so I would get signed out early to go ride. Um,
Oh, nice.
I pretty much knew college wasn't going to be for me, probably since like third grade.
Oh,
So
really? That early?
that, but no, I don't know. I wasn't never really sure like what I wanted to do. Um, and that summer I graduated. So I knew I wasn't going to college,
Yeah.
and I actually got a job at a concrete, I guess like precast. So basically, we were building like septic tanks, manhole covers, um, and went to do that all summer. That sucked. Somebody died and got crushed my second week.
Whoa, wait.
That's
You gotta tell this
yeah,
story.
yeah. So I mean, pretty much second week there. We have to oil these, I guess, big forms. They like
Yeah.
fold open, so you can like oil them down. Because basically, if you don't oil the tanks, they just get stuck in the concrete, so you can't remove them. But if you oil all the doors, they just pop open, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can just lift up whatever concrete tank you're making that day. And well, so this guy went. Um, he was on his phone texting, arguing. Um, he was a drug addict,
Okay.
which is most of the guys that work there. That's another reason why I left. But so he's arguing on his phone with his girl, and he went to go. He was moving the crane to pick up this. It's basically like it was a big, um, I guess, attachment for the crane that it could pick up a like a you know 5,000 pound concrete tank and rotate it
Mm-hmm.
and flip it. Well, there's supposed to be like safety pins so it can't rotate. Because imagine just like a rectangle box
Mm-hmm.
with like a steel beam going up and going over the top around this box. Well, there's safety pins that connect it to that box where it rotates,
Yeah.
and they weren't in. So there was like a concrete tank behind him. He went to go latch it, distracted, it fell, and it only fell like probably like 2 feet because it was so close to a wall. I mean, if it went all the way to the ground, the guy would have been. It would have been a leaked video.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So it just fell like 2 feet. He broke his neck. Me and like three other guys lifted this like 3,000 pound because that top part is like 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
We lifted it off of him, and yeah, I mean he was gone. I mean,
And you saw it right there, like you just saw him.
oh yeah, I helped. I mean, me and three other people lifted this beam off of him. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was probably like the craziest thing, and that made me want to go into obviously a different career.
Oh my gosh.
But
Dude,
yeah,
that's insane.
I mean, yeah, I mean that kind of stuff just definitely puts life into perspective. Like you never know.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
but you want to like obviously learn from that, and you know,
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. That is honestly, that's insane. How do you, yeah, like you got out of that, but how were, I don't know. I don't know how like existentially your thoughts go, but like I would be
I
questioning
mean,
everything.
I kind of like honestly, I did kind of like I thought about it for a long time after that, and it's just like you just kind of have to move on. Some people, I mean, I'm sure don't move
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
but like I think you just got to keep going and like put it behind you. Keep use that as a life lesson.
Damn.
And uh, don't dwell on it.
And don't do
You
drugs,
know?
kids. Don't do
Don't
drugs.
do drugs. Don't argue with your girl while you're running, you know,
Heavy
very
machinery.
heavy machinery.
Oh my gosh.
But even like honestly, like that place was really sketchy,
Yeah.
and like even other scenarios, right? Like I've almost fallen at this because I kept working there the whole summer. I mean, I went from making I think $11 an hour at Target when I was working in high school there
Mm-hmm.
to making almost $20 an hour, and this was pre-COVID, so that was like pretty good money,
Yeah,
at the time.
exactly.
Um, and that's part of the reason why I didn't leave because the money was just I was trying to bank some money. Um, but yeah, so they actually had this pit that was probably like it was probably like 10, 12 feet like down in a hole,
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by just big cement blocks in this pit. And then they had like three of these tank forms for like deep manhole covers. And when you would like make that form, you're standing on a piece of like 1/2 inch steel on the rim with like your feet spread out, like you're balancing. Like there's no ladder, you just jump across, pour the concrete on it. Like there's a big truck with it has the chute, and you're basically trying to line it up. Hopefully it doesn't knock you off.
Oh my gosh.
Like OSHA came a few times, like they got big fines,
Oh
like when
my
I was
gosh.
working there. So
Yeah.
I won't say the place's name, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't want to get sued, but
Damn,
place is
dude.
pretty sketchy, and that I mean, I honestly believe like I that place taught me a lot
Mm-hmm.
about like hard work, crap jobs. Definitely puts it in perspective of like it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
even all my coworkers there, I would say not all of them. 90% of them were drug addicts, alcoholics. Like
Damn.
there were a couple guys that were like straight edge, and those were the managers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
How does
you know,
that how does that I mean, when you're especially when you're young and you go into a work environment, um I feel like the culture that you kind of surround yourself with is so crucial just cuz you don't really know what you're doing as like an adult, right? You're there working, you're trying to like fit like so how does being around that environment, I don't know, that must just be such a weird feeling. Like how do you stay on, hey, this is my thing that I'm doing. This is I don't know if you were riding dirt bikes at that time too. I'm sure.
yeah. I mean, I was so involved, still like super involved with dirt bikes. So I feel like just a lot of people out there just don't have something that they want,
Mhm.
to keep them on that right path.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you see it like most of I feel like college or not, if you're young, you want to go party, hang out with your friends, do all that stuff, which yeah, like it's good to do that, a couple times, but at the end of the day, like at some point you have to grow up.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I feel like don't want to hear that.
No. No, absolutely. Dude, well,
It's
yeah, my initial thoughts are, um, you see a lot of people that kind of extend going through school because they're not sure what they want to do, right? So it's like this is the only thing I've known what I'm doing as far as going to school, like getting grades, having assignments, doing that, and I'm just gonna keep going to the next level. Well, maybe I'll go get my master's, go get that, and I mean I feel like it's great, and I think you'd rather have that education rather than the alternative, in a situation like you're describing. But I think also at the end of the day, people they just continue going on that next level, and then they're not really sure what's even driving them.
yeah.
You know, and it's like it reminds me of you've seen the Blind Side,
Yeah, it's a
right?
great movie.
It's
Great
like
movie.
it's like they have Big Mike and that other kid. I don't know. I don't know who's the if he was his brother, or remember like they were trying to both the the father, maybe the uncle, was trying to get them both in that private school.
I
right?
think like I guess you could call it stepbrother, right?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
Like
and then
your brother. Yeah.
and then he like goes back to like the neighborhood, and he finds that kid who was supposed to
Yeah.
go alongside with him, and he's in crime and drugs and all that stuff. So damn,
Yeah.
it's good for you for keeping the straight and narrow, John. You know.
Hey, I mean, trying. Obviously, like we lived a little bit,
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure every, young young person, you go out and go to the bars with your friends or
Yeah.
some college parties and stuff, but
Yeah, I mean you're young and stupid at that age and you don't really know
yeah.
what's going on. But you just don't want to do anything that's going to alter your life completely off the rails,
Yeah, exactly,
you know. John, let's talk a little bit more about the decision not going to college. I mean, I know you said since third grade, but was there something that happened maybe in high school or that just kind of had the realization of college is not for me? And what was also like the pressure from other friends or people your age, that were all going off to college and you were taking a different path? Did you ever feel anything like that?
I would say, yeah, from some of my like guidance counselors. I would say like my senior year guidance counselor was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was very supportive with like me wanting to go to trade school. But I would definitely say like maybe like freshman year, or like eighth grade stuff. Because really, like, I mean, middle school, like I wanted to be a pro dirt bike rider. That's all I wanted to do. I wasn't worried about any other, anything after high school.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I eventually, dirt bike stuff didn't quite work out, and you just have to, you know, I would say probably junior year is when I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to do something after high school. Like, what am I gonna do? So, I mean, you hear just a lot of things about the trades, especially right at that time. I mean, there's short plumbers, electricians, HVAC guys,
Mm-hmm.
and I already knew two electricians. So two of my older friends that I race dirt bikes with are electricians, and I
Mm.
see that they're making really good money. They can, you know, have enough money to go on vacations, have fun, buy houses, and they were telling me, dude, go into plumbing. Like I don't know any, we don't know any plumbers, so get into plumbing. You can do our plumbing. So
Yeah.
what I did, I almost went into electrical, but I'm so glad I ended up in plumbing. Just I really enjoyed it. There's so much to learn. I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
It's you know the money's really good. I would not have been able to sit still in a college classroom and hand in assignments. I don't,
Yeah.
my ADHD would have been crazy.
Were any of your is any of your family trades workers? I know you said your mom is a teacher. So was there any of that support, or was this something that was just kind of new in your family?
Kind of brand new. I mean, my dad works for the sheriff's department, and actually, I will say I did throw around the idea about going into law enforcement, and my dad was basically like, "No way." So
Why do you say that?
I think it's just like he knows, just like I mean, it's definitely dangerous.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a police officer or like I think he just wanted a little bit more from me. You know, just he always knows like I've always been like I feel like more business oriented or business minded.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to be my own boss and set my own schedule, and I just think this has been probably the best thing I've ever done.
All right, great. So, what is the process like? You want to become a plumber, you want to become a licensed plumber or licensed electrician or in the trades. I have no idea how this process works. What are the steps you have to go through? How long does it take kind of to get where you're at right now?
Yeah, so if you want to do electrical or plumbing, most trade high schools. So say you're out of high school right now, you're in college, or you're 18, don't know what you're gonna do. Every trades or most trade schools offer night programs for adults,
Mm.
whether it's in nursing, HVAC, electrical, plumbing. They offer night schools for people to go and learn and get certified. For plumbing and electrical, I know it's a 4-year program for each of them. And for me, my schooling, I can't really speak on the electrical. I'm sure it's ballpark the same.
Yeah.
Plumbing, it was like $5,000 for the 4 years, and I got licensed. And that's, I feel like, the best bang for the buck.
Yeah.
There are more expensive like trade colleges that you can go to where you're spending, more like a regular college tuition,
Hmm.
where you live on campus. And in a way, I feel like, yeah, that can be good for some people that still want to get that college experience, but it's almost like defeating the purpose a little bit, because it's like you don't really need to do that. You can
Yeah.
save so much more money, if you just go like the night school route.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. So it's the 4 years, 4 years, $5,000. I think to a lot
yeah,
of people hearing that sounds, like you said, like a tremendous deal. I mean,
yeah.
especially with the cost of college. I don't think $5,000 might cover the meal plan for a semester or two.
Yeah,
So, so the fact that you gotta get your certification through that, that's pretty
yeah.
crazy. Um,
It's not even the whole. So my classes went from September to March, 2 times a week at night. It was like 5 to 9 p.m.
mm.
So
And
it's not even
what
a
are you
lot of
doing in
time.
these classes?
Pretty much just paperwork, going over code, all
Okay.
the equations for. I will say the equations that you don't ever really use out in the field, because a lot of times when you get to those bigger jobs, that it's like you outsource that engineering,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
not responsibility.
Yeah.
Because in a way, like a plumber, an electrician is basically an engineer. Like I go and design, like when I get to a brand new build, like a 4 or 5 bathroom house,
Hmm.
I'm designing that system entirely myself. So you kind of have to like be able to understand like how everything works, the code, um, make sure that like you're running the right size water line so you don't run into issues like down the road. Um,
Yeah. Is it a lot of trial and error kind of stuff, or is there just a lot of front load work and then you kind of have to do all that so you hopefully get it right?
I would say it's a lot of trial and error.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
hopefully, if so, say you're out there, um, like when you're doing the night school, you're also working.
Hmm.
So hopefully, you're kind of going over that stuff at work.
Oh, okay. I see.
Stuff at school is kind of just like, you know, building that knowledge.
Yeah.
You're not going to learn everything overnight. I'm still learning. I'm 7 years in, and I'm learning every day,
Yeah.
messing up. It's all about if you make that same mistake again.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, and has there been any like serious mess up you've had?
um, I feel like every plumber's flooded
Yeah.
something. I mean, I flooded a basement once, but there was nothing down there, and it was like a new construction, so it's not like you let the house dry out, it
Yeah.
happens. It's part of learning,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's I to actually my tier 2 plumbing teacher, so 2 years in,
Hmm.
he's burned a house down.
What?
Yeah,
How
so
do,
it's
how do you?
it's actually more common than you think. I like it's especially when you're soldering and
Oh, okay, I
some of
guess.
these old houses. it does happen, and that's why we have insurance.
Why? What did he leave like a soldering gun running, or what happened?
No, just like I mean, it just can happen really quick. I mean, you're soldering like in tight confined spaces sometimes, and if some insulation catches quick, I mean, that stuff that stuff can go up, and you won't even be able to react.
Damn.
But that's why like a lot of people now are we're pro pressing and getting away from the heat.
Hmm.
Uh, so makes it a little bit safer.
Yeah. I'm always curious about what is the technology like? Like, how does that evolve through the trades? Because I think about, from the work that I do, banks are notorious for being behind on technology. And so it's like a very slow moving process. But there's some sectors that it's like they've transformed so much in 5 years because of AI and all these, cloud based
Yeah.
things. And so are there always innovation in plumbing and the trades that are going on? Has there been things that were pretty difficult, when you first started, and now it's like, hey, we have this whole system in place because of this innovation?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I guess in the last couple of years it hasn't really changed, but probably 10-ish, 10, 15 years ago, this big thing called like ProPress
Mm-hmm.
got like I guess moved into America where it's pretty much instead of soldering, you heat up your fitting and you put solder in it to seal the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like a crimping tool, so it'll grab the fitting and there's a little O-ring that
Mm-hmm.
goes around the pipe and it just basically squeezes it so creates like a permanent joint.
Damn.
It's got its application. A lot of guys don't like using it for like heating systems because of the hot and cold contraction you'll get like you can get like leaks over time.
Gotcha.
But that's a technology that has definitely made the trade a little bit easier. Like I think a lot of people get you know scared or intimidated about like especially I've had some like newer apprentices. They just get a little overwhelmed, and it's like, man, you just gotta break it down, ease into it. Like you don't have to know everything right away. Just because I definitely didn't know everything right away.
Yeah.
It's just got to stay off your phone a little bit. That's like a new one. Like some of the apprentices struggle with that heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
But
Um, I think a lot of the times if you hear somebody that's going into the trades and they might say, John, you talk about how good the money is, and that's great and all, but do you genuinely enjoy it? Are you just doing it for the money? But like, what is it in it for you that you really enjoy?
honestly, I really enjoy like it's not just the money. Like if you I all the time. I mean, you get a call, someone frantic like, I got water coming out of my ceiling or my basement's getting flooded out, and you can go there and fix that problem for them, and uh, that's just you feel good about it. You
Yeah.
know, you feel like almost like you're saving their day.
Dude, you're
But
Batman. Let's go.
it's and I feel like you get a just a real sense of like, um, you know, like you're just once you finish something, it's like, man, I gotta I just look what I just accomplished. When
Yeah.
you get to a brand new house with no plumbing in it at all, and you just you go and do your work,
Yeah.
try and make everything as neat as possible, and you see the finished product, and you're like, you just makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, that
Um,
must be a crazy thing, like looking back and saying, wow. Yeah, and then you listen for the toilet flush.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, that was me. That was me. Dude, that's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. And I mean, like that's so cool. But I do feel like, money is also important though too. Like just to not ignore that, and it gives you
Yeah.
freedom, I'm sure, to do stuff that you really want to do, outside of that. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have to work too. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. Everybody's got to have a job to do. And whether that's, wiring up the old plumbing systems or sitting at a computer all day. I mean, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, and plus it's not for everyone, you
Yeah.
know. Some people are more, just would rather do a desk job and,
Yeah.
make their money. It's just definitely wasn't for me. So
Yeah.
I had to go look at other avenues. I also feel like it's kind of a little bit easier to like be your own boss
Mm.
in, I guess, the trade. Um, just I feel like it's probably a little bit more difficult if like say if you want to be a little more like um, you know
Like corporate
just
kind
give
of.
yourself that option. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't really have that doorway of like, oh, I want to do my own thing one day.
Yeah. Especially at 20, you're 25, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, especially no 25-year-old unless you go that route or, I mean, even the entrepreneur route at this age is probably very early on in the process. So, you're right.
yeah.
You're the first non-college attendee of this podcast. And I do want to just ask, what's it like living life without tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt?
I don't have student loan debt, but I
Exactly.
do have
What's it like living without
a
that?
huge mortgage over my head.
You have a huge mortgage. Do you? I'm sure you carry over a lot of those plumbing skills that you're able to look at your house differently. Correct?
Yeah, I actually, I've already had to fix a couple leak problems in my house, so it it goes around. I had to repaint my whole house. It was a smoke, or whoever lived here last was ripping butts in the living room and the bedrooms.
Dang. Did you have to deal with any
But
lead paint? Did you have to replace that?
no, no, house isn't that old.
Okay.
But no, I mean
What made you see this house and you kind of knew this was the house for you and Hannah?
to be honest, it was just right place, right time. I
Okay.
feel like right now it's really really hard to get a house, and um, like even my wife says, like, I mean, if she wasn't with me or like just had her student loans, I mean, there's no way we would have been able to get a house.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, I think it's almost like a little messed up, like how much colleges are charging people, um, especially just like the interest. It's honestly criminal.
Yeah.
You know, looking from a person that doesn't have it, because I'm not like that mentality. Like, oh, like a lot of blue collar guys are like, well, imagine going to college. Like that's such a waste of time. Because some people, it's not like,
Yeah.
you like the blue car route isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
And as much as a lot of the blue collar guys say like college is a waste of time, there's a lot of careers like that you need to go to college for. Like I wouldn't want some guy performing surgery on me or bending a bridge, or you know what I mean. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of jobs where you need a college degree.
Yeah, I had my sister on this podcast a few episodes ago, and we were talking about kind of this harmonious mesh of the people that go to college or don't, or go to a tertiary degree or PhD or what, there's so many different levels, but you need all those people in a society, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the reason why the trades are getting paid so much, the reason why there's such a good market for that is because people are going away from it. So if you're able to be the limited supply of this, right, that helps people like you that, hey, college wasn't for me. I can go into this. I can make good money. I can enjoy doing this. But you also need the engineers that, you're backing out
yeah,
work to, you
yeah.
need I don't even know, if you need me, but you need people like me, I guess, on the computer,
Hey,
looking at
find
what,
these guys.
yeah, what the banks are doing, how to make money in these certain ways. it all works in this like harmonious mesh. And like the perfect example I was telling her is, my job, we're looking at banks giving out loans, right? And a lot of these loans are for like commercial buildings. So I'll take a look out my office and I'll see like a big commercial property being built, a big apartment complex. And it's like my job is looking at how the bank is transferring that money and make sure that that construction is getting done. But there's guys that are actually on the job, actually constructing this structure, like from their hands. And it's like, I have no idea what they're doing on that end, but they also probably have no idea what I'm doing on my end. And I guess we kind of need each other
Yeah.
to work as a proper society.
It's a process, and
Yeah.
everyone has their job.
Yeah, exactly. Is there something that you look back at, because obviously Hannah's in college, you're visiting, you kind of get that sense indirectly. Is there anything that you look back and you're like, man, this would have been cool to be able to experience in these years, or vice versa too, where it's like, I'm so glad I didn't have to do any of that, that crap.
I mean, in a way, yeah, yes. I feel like I did kind of go through a period in time where I was like, oh man, like I missed out a little bit not going to college. Like I feel like you do, I'm sure you make good friends in college and experiences. But at the end of the day, it's like you pick your path. You can't reminisce on the past. You got to keep moving forward. Keep thinking about the future and how can I take those experiences from my past where maybe I didn't make the right decision and make the right decision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, and what I think about too is like you never know what that alternative looks like, right? So a lot of the times, if we're overthinkers, like in the negative way, we think about what is our worst day currently compared to the best possible outcome of this alternate route, right? And when you
yeah,
have that comparison, it's like, oh man, I screwed up, I messed up, this sucks. Why did I do this? I should have done all this. This would have changed my life. But you never think about the alternative, like that could have led you, sure, and you probably would have been okay doing that route. Um, but that comparison is just never gonna make sense because you're never gonna have that other experience. So you're right, just keep going
yeah,
head forward, right? There's no
yeah.
point, no point.
And I will say, like I'm sure a lot of people listening to this are young, you know, just graduated high school or still in college or just graduated college. Like you're still young, you still have plenty of time. Like especially if you want to open your own business, just try and do it. You're young, like just go for it in a way. You're young, like you can afford to go broke.
Yeah,
It's you can always make more money.
yeah,
It's
that's true.
uh,
And you're in a
cool.
position too where it's, if you're in your 20s, it really is societally okay to live with your parents, right? It's okay to
Yeah.
not be making a ton of money. It's
Yep.
okay, like from that outside stuff. Like, should you be caring about that? Probably not. But I mean, we can't ignore it completely. So all those things are really kind of socially okay. That if you want to do that now, so you can set yourself up by your 30s. Um, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean it's so expensive to like, you know, well, like leave buying a house out of the conversation, but renting, I mean, is crazy, especially up in Massachusetts. I mean, like it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's like how do you set yourself up when all your money's going to rent? Like or like if you have a business idea, like how you're going to get your money into that
Yeah.
idea. Um, because it you know people become successful business owners every day. It's just like you got to take those steps if you want that.
Yeah.
You got to go and go for it. Like I read a book, which really changed like how I thought about money. It's called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm.
It's not a very big book. There's even an audio version if you're not like a reader. So read that. It'll kind of like put a different perspective about money in your head. Like it's a tool to make you more money. It's not like something you want to just try and hoard and, um, you want to use it.
Yeah.
Use it to your.
What did that book? Can you remember anything that book like? I'm sure it just kind of indirectly like absorbs into you. But is there anything specific that was like this is a game changer?
It was kind of a cool, like, at least what I got out of it, because I know a few friends that have read it and got different, I guess, feeling towards it.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's about two kids. One of the kids has a rich dad. One of the kids has a poor dad. Well, the poor kid went to his rich dad. They were like, "Oh, we want a job. We want to make money," and he basically employs them for a really cheap amount, and the rich son just kept working at that amount, and then the poor kid, at one day, he just got fed up and basically was like, "I need more money. Like, you said you were gonna teach me how to make money," and the rich dad sits him down and is like, "I've already been teaching you. Like, look, you have a desire." He's like, so he basically wanted to, like, you know, break him down, see if he was gonna keep working at that little amount. Because you'd be surprised. There's a lot of people out there that just like they get into their situation and they're just like, I'm just gonna coast through life and not reach higher.
Yeah.
There's more to that book. It's just like it taught me, like, you don't want to just always value time with money. Like, you want your money to work for you.
Yeah. Damn.
But,
That's good. I've always heard it in like, the best books to read for personal finance and things like that. But I never even knew what it was about really. But I always,
no, it's a great book.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to read it. And I am a big audiobook listener.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's free on YouTube. It's not a very big book.
Sweet.
And I've only read it once, and I want to read it again just to, like, really, like, even maybe get a different understanding from it.
And I wonder if it changes too. I mean, I think that's a cool thing about books that I've been kind of realizing. I mean, I've been going back and reading some of those books that we were like reading in high school. Like think of like Of Mice and Men and I want to read The Great Gatsby and like even these fiction books. You probably get a different understanding of it outside of the classroom. You're reading it because you're forced to read it, right? That's what you're doing in high school.
That time.
But like reading books like that now and just, being in a different perspective, close to 10 years after you've read it. I mean, I'm sure there's some different takeaways and you're thinking about different things. You're at a different stage of life. That's kind of a cool thing because it's the same exact text, same exact information, but it's how you're receiving that at this point.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good idea. Reread that.
Yeah.
Let's talk. I want to talk a little bit about your marriage. I mean, how's that been? How's it being 25, being married? I know, especially coming from the Northeast. I mean, that's a much less common thing than it is, say, south of the Mason-Dixon. But what is it like? Especially from your perspective, being married and how's that going?
It's going really good. I think me and my wife just have a little bit more traditional values, I guess you could say. Just, we want to have kids younger. I think we just try and support each other the best we can. Like if one of us is having a really busy day or a crappy day, it's like the other person kind of, picks up the pieces and puts you back together. So, it's good. I know like a lot of people are definitely waiting to get married and have kids, and we don't have any kids kids on the way or kids yet, but I'm sure, next few years.
Yeah. Why do you think there's been a push back in that? I mean, if we were in 1960, 1970, you'd kind of be, I mean, you might even be late to the party, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We'd be like old people getting there.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh wow, John and Hannah got married. Wow, it's been a. I mean, we could have had this done years ago. Like, why didn't they do that? But why do you think? Out of curiosity, why do you think that that's been pushed back later and later?
I think it's obviously no secret that it's really expensive to survive, and I think that definitely doesn't help.
Hmm.
Like a lot of people are like, "Ah, why would I try and have kids if I can't afford to live myself?" Like imagine, trying to support a family, which um it's just which is, the negative. I wish it was, cheaper to live, and hopefully one day we can, you know, get back to society where it's, you know, I don't want to say like the wife can stay home
Yeah,
because I don't really like, I don't care either way. My wife wants to be a stay-at-home mom, so if hopefully one day if we can get to that, we'll
yeah,
see. Um, but it's only getting more expensive. It seems like every year.
yeah.
Like,
And I think, I mean, expenses, especially now. I mean, in the last post-COVID era, I mean, things have just gotten way out of control. I think too, I've had this discussion with my sister about just maturity levels. I mean, I will say you and Hannah have always been, since I've known you the last few years. I mean, you've seen very mature. I think that might be part of like, you being kind of well engulfed into your career, and Hannah just is like that as well. Just from the time I've met her, but I think there's this like maturity shift, and I can't tell if it seems like a chicken or the egg kind of thing. I can't tell if back in the day people were having kids and they were getting forced to become more mature because that was the
yeah,
expectation, or is it because people are now less mature, they're not ready to have kids? It's I always wonder about that question. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I mean, I think it's a mix of both. I will say, even like my mom's a teacher, Hannah's a teacher. It almost feels like the kids coming up are less mature. I don't
Hmm.
know if that's like, you know, all that short formed media, TikTok, whatever it
Yeah,
is. Because I mean,
TikTokification.
we had access to video games, and it's
Hmm.
I
I
think that's
I will say about our age, and I always think about this too. People that are our age, we're kind of like the last few years where I think the iPhone came out in 2008, I want to say, and now we have kids. You see kids. Okay, 2000.
yeah. When did you get your first iPhone?
Oh, dude, I was a senior in high school. I got my first iPhone.
Really?
I got like a smartphone sophomore year of high school, but other than that, I had like a track phone where I had a number of, you could only have a certain amount of minutes and text messages. I didn't have it like a smartphone. But so I'm just looking at June 29th, 2007, the first iPhone was released. So we weren't in the stroller on like this
That's true.
super
On the
intelligent device with all this crazy stuff. Yeah. Think about, and what's the iPad? I wonder what that is, because that's, I mean, the joke about the iPad, 2010. So right, we're already 10 years old. We don't have access to be pushed around in a
yeah.
stroller where we're just like scrolling through stuff in order for our parents to silence it. It's not like it's like the modern day pacifier.
Yeah, and I think that's so bad for kids. I mean, me and my wife talked like me personally, I didn't get an iPhone until probably seventh grade. I think it was seventh grade,
Hmm.
going into eighth grade. Um, where I guess your mind is, a little bit more developed. Um, but I just I don't want to seem like, I'm bashing technology or bashing the kids these days, but I
Shut up,
think it's rot.
grandpa.
I
Freaking
think it's so rot in their brain.
Yeah.
It's I let the kids play with blocks, let the kids go outside.
Yeah.
Me and my wife talked about homeschooling our kid, possibly, if it comes down to that, or maybe private school,
Mm-hmm.
depending if we can afford it. It's just, I think even her being a teacher, she can kind of like see what it's like, and you know,
Yeah.
she definitely sees a difference between the public school kids and the private school kids. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll say that.
that's big.
So,
And what I had noticed, I was coaching some high school baseball for a few years, and I mean,
yeah.
for the most part, I mean, very very nice kids, especially the kids that wanted to be there. But my general sense was there seemed to be like a lack of respect and attention for authority. I mean, we had a very old baseball coach. I mean, this guy was born in 1933, and he died last year.
Oh,
Rest his soul. But yeah, you could just tell though that the kids born in 2008 or 2007 or whatever, they just didn't have that like look of I'm just gonna shut up and listen to everything this guy has to say. I don't know. This is a big question. Is it the parents? Is it the serotonin and dopamine rips from this short form content? Who knows exactly what it is? But it just seems like
it,
there's this whole thing.
it's got to be something. And
Yeah,
really, I would say the only thing that's changed is technology. I mean,
that is
you
true.
could say parenting because, in a way, like, we're choosing to, you know, give our kids that technology when maybe they're not, like, ready for it.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know about you, but I'm sure there's a lot of kids out there that don't even know how to ride a bike
That is true.
or
Isn't that
don't
sad?
have neighborhood friends. Like, I
Yeah.
would go out every day and hang out with kids in my neighborhood.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
you know,
It's almost like it just gets. I mean, I'm sure your parents probably say the same things, but I know my dad was like, yeah. I mean, they would let us out of the house, and we would show up back at like sunset, and like they didn't
yeah,
question what we were doing and where we were. I mean, I never had that, but it was probably closer to that than it was like let's stay
yeah.
inside all day. I mean, we would go outside, we'd go, yeah, hang out with the neighborhood kids, you know, football, flag football, throw a frisbee, go catch some frogs, whatever it was. You know, I'm sure
Yeah.
that was like what you had.
And my mom's she teaches at a private school, but we get a lot of kids from, or they get a lot of kids from like some of the public schools in the area,
Hmm.
and especially COVID. I think COVID probably like didn't help,
No.
um, because immediately after COVID, my mom like saw a drop in like some of these cognitive, abilities from these kids.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's just like I know me personally, I would not be able to focus on Zoom. I'm sure a lot of kids they had their like this and they're Xbox or whatever off to the side.
John, John. I'm
Like
calling you, John.
yeah,
You know.
it's crazy, but it makes you wonder what's going to be like in another like 10, 15 years if this is how far technology has come.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I just seen, I think on the news there was like an AI robot or whatever at the White House. I think
Oh
they're
boy.
gonna teach our kids.
Oh boy.
They're
Teaching our kids?
coming for our jobs.
Damn. Hopefully there's not an
You,
AI plumber, dude.
we'll see. I mean, hey, one day.
One day.
Um, but it's you just have to evolve with the times, I guess. I mean, I always wonder like, are they gonna ban AI one day because they take too many people's jobs? I mean, think about all those people. Like, I'm sure. I mean, we come from the same time frame where it was like early high school, maybe like eighth grade. They're like, you should think about getting into like a computer science degree or like code. Like that stuff was being pushed
Oh
very
yeah.
heavy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if we look at right now, what's going on? A lot of people are getting laid off because an AI can do that job way better than probably any human.
That's insane. Dude,
So it's
you're right.
and it's kind of sad to see because you look at all those people that maybe now they have a lot of debt from school and they can't find a job.
Yeah.
And I don't know how like we fix that. It's a crappy situation.
Yeah.
That you just have to you got to figure it out. Move
Yeah.
on to the next.
Yeah, that was like the huge push. And I think that kind of actually even happened like our years, or I should say my years, I guess, of in
Yeah.
college that shifted. I mean, in high school, the big thing was like, you want to make money right out of college, you want to get a good job, go into computer science, you'll get a coding job immediately, and you'll get, either a startup and you'll make big
100
money.
grand right out of college.
Yeah, and everything's set. But you're right, in that time, things like shifted so quickly, and now it's hard. I mean, you want to talk about supply and demand, that we were talking about.
I think it's
Yep. No, go ahead.
No, you go. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you mentioned homeschooling. I was homeschooled for 2 years, 5th and 6th grade. And I will say a couple things if you are considering it. It is terrific, and especially when you have a kid. I had certain things I really like to do, and I knew that as quickly as I got my schoolwork done in a timely fashion, did it hopefully well and got that stuff, I could really pursue that. So I was playing a lot of baseball. My dad worked at nights, so he was around during the day. He would go take me to the baseball field when I finished. Or that's when I really started learning to play guitar. So like there was a lot of things that really supplemented that direct education. So, and I feel like that was huge. I think the big thing where a lot of homeschoolers get a bad rep are the lack of social interactions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that is tough, and it's a genuinely a problem, because a lot of the kids where do you get your social interaction? You get from school, and so you don't really know how to behave and react with other kids your age, and I experienced that firsthand. But being involved in sports, between football, and I was in basketball and baseball, between that, like I had plenty of social interactions with kids my age. So that's like a huge thing. So if you're considering the homeschool route.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely, I feel like, a big thing. But even now, like even Hannah will say this, but some of these kids, we'll call it iPad kids.
Yeah.
They go to public school, but they still don't know how to interact with people.
Oh, because of the technology.
I think in a way that it hurts a little bit. I'm not saying that's like the only reason, but I think there are a lot of kids out there that don't know how to communicate.
That's a good point. Yeah, you get so comfortable in your own little world behind a screen. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's real interesting talk, man. I want to quickly shift to your dirt bike riding and how you got involved with that. And I mean, the first I don't want to say interaction. I guess it was an interaction with you. I mean, Hannah and I were brushing our teeth in the shared dorm bathroom, and she was on FaceTime with you, and you were over like in France riding some dirt bike competition, right?
Yeah. That was probably the biggest race of my life.
Dude. Yeah, how'd you get involved in this dirt bike circuit, and how'd you get to like that level of it? Because I can understand like, oh yeah, you ride dirt bikes around, but to get into like the competitive sphere, and I'm gonna put your Instagram in the bio. People can check that out, because some of those things are sick. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a note to myself right now. This is gonna cut, and I'm gonna drop a little highlight clip right at this moment.
Bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. Bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I play the shots. I call the calls. We in this bitch. It's going down.
So let's just, okay, great. We just watched that clip. Explain how you got involved with the dirt bikes.
Yeah, so my dad bought me a dirt bike when I was 2.5 years old. Had some training wheels on it.
Wait, they make training wheels for dirt bikes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
He sent me right off, and I went about 50 feet right into a tree. Parked the bike over the winter. Gave it another go in the spring, and we were hooked.
Let's go.
So I've pretty much have ridden a dirt bike almost as long as I could walk.
That's funny.
It's secondhand. Um, I grew up racing. I went through the ranks, and now, race the pro class in New England, and occasionally we'll go travel. And I used to take it, a little bit, I guess, more serious, like wanting to make it a real job, and that didn't work out. So, but now we do it for fun. I want to do it as long as I can, and just enjoy life.
How'd you get what made you get hooked on it?
I think it's just the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit a big jump, or you hit a turn really good, and you just your adrenaline spikes, and it's that was awesome. I've made some of my best lifelong friends racing dirt bikes. There's kids that I would race against when I was 4 years old that I'm still very good friends with.
Dang.
I would say almost, probably stronger than any grade school or, school friend that I have, ever had.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That is insane. Okay, and then so you just do a bunch of races, and how do you get to the point where you're traveling over to France? Because you were representing the United States, right?
Yeah, so I basically I did a qualifier, actually a few different qualifiers. I tried the year before, didn't get in, tried it the next year, was one position out of qualifying. They take 9 people from the East Coast, 9 people from the West Coast, and I was 10th. Well, someone got hurt a month after they released that. I was all right, better luck next year. Well, I got the phone call hey, so-and-so got hurt. Do you want to, represent Team USA and go to ISD? I was let me think about it. Let me call you back. I hung up. And obviously I'm going to say yes. But,
Yeah.
I just have a month less to prepare. I mean, I got to ship everything over to France, raise money. I mean, the race costs probably $20,000. And
Oh my God.
I was able, through donations and from my local race series and a few businesses that helped me out, I was able to raise, I would say, 95% of that money, which I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it if I wasn't able to raise any money. So, thank goodness,
Yeah. Dude, that's such an awesome experience.
Yeah, and it to go there, and we were under basically like a USA rig. We probably had I want to say 500 or 600 people watching us, coming around our rig. I was signing autographs. That was
Oh shoot.
probably the craziest experience of my life.
Dude.
And it was awesome. So that was a dream come true. It's my passion. Dirt bike racing is I would say it's my life, outside of work.
Yeah. Dude, I was a little annoyed this morning. I went to go find my official John McDougal dirt bike merch.
The t-shirt.
I don't know where it went. I was so freaking pissed. I was like, oh, come on. Because what I was going to do, I was going to wear it underneath a shirt, and then I was going to go
Yeah.
and have it John McDougal. So maybe you can send me another one at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe you can also, I don't know if you're making t-shirts for McDougal Plumbing.
Oh, that it's a possibility. Most likely, yes, coming soon.
Perfect.
Get some uniforms on.
Dude, you'll have to send me one down. You have to ship me one down. Maybe nice beanie too. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. Get some hats.
Yeah. Just to wrap things up here, you were already kind of talking about, starting a family and having that. And what does the next kind of 5 years look like in your vision as far as how you see it now, as far as your business, your life, any additional projects that you're going to undertake? What is that looking like?
I would say business, like in the next 5 years, like I want to be, $500,000-$600,000 a year,
Damn.
in revenue.
And that's pretty possible. I mean, that sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot. I know, there's a few plumbers I know that just work for themselves that are making like $800,000, $1 million a year. Not like profit, but
revenue.
Probably
Gotcha.
taking home like, 350, 400, which is a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But no, I think this year, like if I can hit like a little over 200 in revenue this year, like that's not take home, but just going in and out of the business, that would be awesome.
Yeah. And we'll see. Were you working for like a TikTok plumber? Is that what you were telling me last time we spoke?
I actually I work for him part-time. So he's been the best boss. Like he's pushing me to be my own boss when I work for him. Like you would think that he would just want me to work with him forever. Mm-hmm. Well, he's the one, like he's always, he pushes all his guys to have that mindset of like, dude, you don't always have to work for me. Just, learn, make me money, and then when you're ready, go off and do your own thing, which I'm slowly kind of building that bridge. And, eventually I'm sure I work 4 days a week and we do 6-hour shifts and he pays us for 8. So he's a really good boss. We're spoiled. Like,
damn.
So I have plenty of time to do my own work after work, and then Fridays I don't work for him, so I have all day Friday.
Yeah.
But eventually I want to, hopefully sometime this year, I'll be 3 days for him, and I'll get that extra day.
Yeah. Will we be getting any McDougal plumbing, Instagram Reels, TikTok content?
Maybe.
Oh.
I need to get better at that because it's the time we live in, right? We have to be on social media. And my boss tells me, dude, you need to post pictures, you need to post videos. Like, it's definitely part of it, and I just need to get better at that. But,
yeah. Dude, I could see it already. John McDougal, plumber by day, dirt bike badass by night.
Yep.
Except you probably ride it during the day. But we'll work on those details.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
John, is there any last piece of advice that you would give to the listeners here?
I mean, if you're wanting to start your own business, just what are you waiting for? Just go do it. I mean, I would say the people that are truly like, I don't want to say making it in life, but have money, like everyone that I've met are either entrepreneurs, business owners. You're not going to get rich working for somebody else. That's probably my biggest advice.
Amen.
So,
amen. Well, John, thanks, dude, thanks for coming on, sharing your experience, sharing your knowledge. Love talking to you, man.
Yeah, man. Going forever.
All right, dude. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, dude.
All right.